Okay, well, welcome everyone. Today is January 21st, 2015, and this is Teresa Lawson. I'm a key director with Reliv International from Illinois. I live an hour south of Chicago, and my husband and I are the parents of 11 children. My husband is a farmer, and my background is in nursing. And we were introduced to this wonderful company and these amazing products about almost 8 years ago now. It's been such an incredible journey. They're a wonderful gift from God. I consider both the products and the business a wonderful gift from the Lord for people. And so what I'm going to share with you is information about our company, our products, our mission. We actually have a mission. We feed over 42,000 children every day in foreign countries all over the world, and we're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the opportunity as well, the business opportunity for those who are interested in that. For those of you who are not interested in a business opportunity, what I will be sharing toward the end is a way to get a discount on the products. So just hang on and try to be here for the whole presentation if you can, even if you're not interested in the business itself. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a few people to share right at the beginning of this presentation some stories of health, recovered health, and business, how the business has helped their family. And I'm going to just call on different people to share. And once they've shared, if they need to go, they're welcome to let go of the call. So, and I really want to say that I appreciate all of you lovely ladies coming on to share your story of hope with our guests. First of all, Susie Chestnut, could you please come on and share your story with everybody? Don't forget to press star 6. You're still muted there, Susie.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can hear you. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yes, I'm so delighted, and thank you for inviting me. It's truly a privilege because I feel like it's a moral obligation to share what these products have done for my family and the business opportunity that it opened up for us as well, because we all know people who are very, very sick and need help with both their health and finances, and we were one of those family, and I was able to get 5 kids off of nebulizers, inhalers, and oral steroids. My husband has avoided 2 knee replacements. I've had kids with ADD and ADHD that I did homeschool. I did not have them on any meds. I tell you, they were bouncing off the walls. I had a daughter that was doing dive rolls off the back of my couch and doing walkovers and back walkovers on the picnic bench at our dining room table. And it was just amazing. I put her in gymnastics just so she'd learn how to fall and not break her neck, you know. But I myself have had diabetes. I was on insulin 13 years ago. And today, because of these products, I am on no insulin and no oral meds whatsoever. For 25 years, I have had chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia. Those are no longer an issue as long as I am consistent with these products. I had a daughter with migraine headaches who no longer suffers from that. The results just go on and on. I also had irritable bowel for 25 years. 4 years after I got on Reliv, I found out that I had celiac disease. But let me tell you, I was the first one to get my results. Within 2 weeks, I began going to the bathroom normally and naturally, just because of these products, which if that was the only reason, my whole family would have been on these products forever. But as you can hear, we went on to find more and more results. And because of the results, a wonderful business was born. I just started telling people about how great my kids were feeling, and people saw things, and they were like, wow, what are you doing? And I said, you know, we're making and shaking and taking this stuff, and, yeah, we feel really great. And they're like, well, yeah, can we have some? And that's how it happened. I wasn't knocking on people's doors or doing any of that because I couldn't have done that. I was a very busy mom, a homeschooling mom. I also had 2 special needs children at the time that I babysat 12-plus hours a day and had no time for a business. But people came to me, and that's how it happened. And, you know, I work very part-time because I'm a very busy mom. I'm involved with a lot of stuff at our church, stuff like that. And I work 8 to 10 hours a week just doing calls like this and webinars like we're sharing with you. And I'm making between $1,400 and $1,800 a month. My best month has been $3,200, And that's just because I've been able to share these products and help other people to get the results that they're looking for. And it's all about customer service and follow-up, and that's what we do. And, when you go to your doctor doesn't call you in 2 weeks and say, hey, how are you feeling? He expects you to call them. And your pharmacist doesn't call you and say, hey, is this med working for you? If not, let's try something else. They don't do that. But that's what we do. We provide really good customer service. And with this new epigenetics that's going on with the lunasin and nourishing the cell, we don't treat a symptom. We nourish the cell, which means that no matter what your ailment is, you're going to feel better, which is just really awesome. So Teresa will go into more of that as the webinar goes on. But thank you for inviting me on this call, Teresa.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, Susie. I just love listening to your story. So can we go now to Fanny Lefevre? Fanny, could you hop on and share your family story with everyone on the line?
Yes, Teresa, I'd love to. Thank you. Yeah, my name
Thank
is
you.
Fanny Lefevre, and I live in Steubenville, Ohio area with my husband.
Can you talk just a little bit louder, Fanny?
Sure. Let me see. Sure, I have that up as high as it'll go. Can you hear me all right?
Okay, that's much better. That's much better. Thank you. Yep.
Yes. My name is Fanny Lefevre, and I live in the Steubenville, Ohio area with my husband. We are the parents of 13 grandchildren. My background's in education, and when Reliv found us, we were in a very sad state. My husband was extremely ill with lots of illnesses that he had been genetically predisposed to from his dad. He was dealing with heart disease and diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and he had neuropathy in his feet and his legs. And what happened at the age of 63 is that he actually collapsed at home, and we had to rush him to the ER, where we found that he had a severe blockage to the heart, and he had to have an emergency quadruple bypass, as well as having one side of his carotid arteries repaired. And following that, he developed numerous complications. He developed seizures from being over-medicated. He developed postural hypertension, where when he would be sitting down and stand up quickly, he would faint. We were constantly rushing him back to the hospital, calling the ambulance 911 and rushing him and having him admitted time and time again. And it just seemed as though he was growing weaker every day. We ended up being in 4 different hospitals. We were even sent to University of Pittsburgh Medical Center for the other side of the carotid artery that was under the jaw, and very delicate procedure to be done. And there they found that he had blocked vertebral arteries, the tiny arteries in the back of his neck that feed the brain, were also severely blocked. And after inserting a stent on the one side, after a few months it was blocked again. And at this point, my husband was so weary from being picked and probed that he it was just losing, just becoming severely debilitated and losing all of his strength. He was on 12 medications at that point. The doctor said he would never work another day in his life. And he would use a walker, a cane, to get around the house. And when I took him out, I had to take him in a wheelchair. So that was the state that we were in. Fast forward a whole year later, my husband had not improved at all. He would sit in a lazy boy recliner from morning till night, totally depressed, just feeling like his life was over. And I felt like I lost my husband. And that's when Therese called me. We're good friends from long ago, and she called and told me about Reliv. And it was just that day we will mark on our calendar that the Lord answer our prayer, because I just didn't know what to do anymore with my husband declining so rapidly. And now my husband I was excited about the products, but my husband was very skeptical. He said no powder in a can was going to give him his life back. But out of love for me, he did agree to get started. And after 2 months on the products, his blood pressure dropped, and the doctor had to cut back on medication. And that grabbed his attention. Then at 4 months, lo and behold, my husband actually returned to work. That was a glorious day that he was strong enough to do that. And the doctor also was able to wean him off of 8 medications very gradually. So my husband went from taking 12 medications when he began Reliv shakes to taking 4 meds today. Even his high blood pressure of 26 years, he was taking medication for blood pressure for 26 years, and today his blood pressure is normal. He doesn't need any medication at all for blood pressure. His neuropathy is completely gone. He doesn't need to take any medication for that. We returned to the radiologist at University of Pittsburgh Medical Center that had done the stent, and they did another angiogram procedure and found that my husband formed a whole new collateral artery going around the blockage, and so they didn't even need to see him again. And after being on Reliv for a year, we went back to our doctor who did lab work, blood work on my husband, and he was shocked with the results. And he said to my husband, you know, you were such a sick guy a year ago. Whatever did you do? And, of course, my husband told him about Reliv. And this doctor is very skeptical of nutritional products. He always told us not to waste our money on nutrition, vitamins, because they don't do anything. They're a waste of money. And you know, we asked the doctor if he would write a script that Reliv would be medically necessary for my husband so we could take it as a tax write-off. And without hesitation, the doctor got out his patent pen and wrote us that script, and we've been able to get wonderful tax returns as a result. So I today, at 70 years old, he'll be 71 this spring. My husband still works 40 hours a week. He is healthier than he was at 50. He certainly feels better than he did at 50. He hunts with his sons and grandsons. He chops wood. He shovels snow, and he has a quality of life that is amazing. And I can never thank the Lord enough for what he allowed us to find through Reliv.
Thank you so much, Fanny. I just love hearing that story. It's so inspirational. Okay, let's go on to Kathy Fairbairn. Kathy, are you available to share with us?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me, Teresa?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
You're welcome. My name is Kathy Fairbairn, and I live with our family in Herndon, Virginia, which is outside of Washington, D.C., and we've gotten some amazing results with the Reliv products at our house. I've gotten relief from seasonal allergies. I don't feel like I have to hide in my house anymore in the spring and the fall. I can go outside and garden, and I don't have any symptoms anymore. I can't even tell when the pollen count is high anymore. I had hypoglycemia, which is low blood sugar, so I had very low energy. If I would sit down in a chair, I would fall asleep, and I had to take frequent naps. But now I feel like I have so much energy. I have about 3 more hours to my day, and I don't have to take naps anymore. I also had arthritis starting in my hands and my feet and my hips, and now I'm pain-free, and I'm just so grateful to God. My husband got relief from high blood pressure and high cholesterol. They're both in the normal range now after taking the Reliv products. Our son uses these products for football conditioning. He takes a shake before football practice and then after football practice, after he's all beat up and bruised and his muscles are torn. This really helps with muscle repair, and he has more energy and stamina. It helps build muscle. His immune system has really improved, and he's hardly been sick at all. Our daughter was the big story. When she was 15, she started coming down with a mysterious, exhausting illness. And I didn't know what was wrong with her, and I was taking her from doctor to doctor looking for answers. We didn't get a diagnosis for quite a while, and I took her to a nutritionist who put her on a whole regimen of supplements and vitamin pills. And she took them very faithfully and consistently for over a year, and they did absolutely nothing. She just got sicker. She wasn't able to go to school. She couldn't participate in sports. She couldn't even walk because whenever she would sit up or stand up, she would get dizzy and nauseous and almost faint. Well, finally we got a diagnosis of chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, and something called POTS disease. A specialist at Johns Hopkins said that her veins were too stretchy and that they couldn't constrict enough to pump the blood back up to her heart and then up to her head, so she would get a lot of cognitive issues. She couldn't think clearly. She couldn't concentrate. School with her tutors was tedious. She lost her short-term memory, and she couldn't remember from week to week what the lesson was the week before. So she was pretty discouraged and depressed about her. The doctor's answer was to put her on antidepressants, and I didn't think that was a good idea. So I was really praying to God for answers. Friends called us up out of the blue and came over and shared Reliv with us. with the very first shake, she started feeling a little better. She got some mental clarity, and she got some energy. So I put her on the products, and our sponsor helped her to mix 3 double shakes a day, instructed us how to do that. So she was on 3 double shakes a day for about 7 weeks, and then we had to go back to the doctor. And I didn't tell him that I had put her on the products because I didn't want him to say, don't take it. But when she walked in the room, he noticed that she was alert, happy, and smiling, and her depression had lifted. And that really got his attention. He looked in her ears, nose, and throat and noticed that her allergies were going away, her acne was clearing up, her blood pressure was stabilizing, she was able to sit up for longer and longer periods of time, she could walk a little ways. Her tachycardia had calmed down, she had uncontrolled heartbeat. Just all kinds of things. I was noticing that her memory was coming back. I had taken her to the eye doctor, and her eyesight was getting better. She said her sense of smell was coming back. I didn't even know she lost her sense of smell. Well, she was in a research project with the doctor at that point, and he was measuring all the angles of her joints. Well, this is interesting. There's no more fibromyalgia. And then he looked at me, and then he did the range of motion exercises and measurements, and he said, wow, her range of motion has really improved. So he sat down, he wrote all this down in his chart. He took his glasses off, and he looked at me, and he pointed his finger at me, and he said, what have you been doing? He said, I have never seen anybody recover so quickly or so completely before. So I told him about Reliv, and he said, oh, I know those products. And I said, you do? Like, why didn't you tell me? And he said, oh, yeah, way back when I was graduating from medical school, a colleague of mine was test marketing Reliv. He said, that's the stuff that comes in a can, right? And I said, right. He said, oh, yeah, we used to get free samples of it. What's in it? So I showed him all the labels on the cans. He looked at all the ingredients, and he said, well, there's nothing in these products that can hurt her. It's obviously helping her, so continue doing what you're doing, and I'll see you back in 3 months. So we kept her on 3 double shakes a day. She went back after 3 months, and she had improved significantly again. And he said, keep doing what you're doing. I'll see you back in 3 months. Well, long story short, she finished high school. He had to really release her because there was nothing else he could do for her. She got her driver's license. She's going to college now. She's working part-time as a veterinary nurse, which is what she's studying in college. And she's her happy, bubbly self again. And we're just so grateful to God. He has given us our daughter back. And people saw her around town, and they wanted to know why she wasn't in bed and what was she doing. And so we shared Reliv with them. And they said, oh, well, we want to feel better, too. We want some of that stuff. So I didn't really plan on having a business, but I had to tell people about it because she had taken all these other things for over a year, and they did absolutely nothing. The only thing that really helped her was the Reliv. I didn't think the doctors could help her with medication. I didn't want her to have side effects of Ritalin, which is what they suggested, or get hooked on antidepressants. So Reliv was the answer. So I had to tell people about it. And just sharing very part-time around my family's busy schedule. I maybe work 8 to 10 hours a week, something like that, sometimes a little bit less, sometimes a little bit more. And I average about $1,000 a month. And that's a nice little additional income that I hadn't been planning on. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Thank you, Kathy, so much for sharing that. I love to hear that story. And I'm going to share my family story really briefly, too, so we can get going with the actual slide presentation. Again, my name's Teresa Lawson, and we have, as I said before, 11 children. We've had a lot of different results in our family. My husband is off of his medication for his type 2 diabetes because of these products. He also had relief from chronic back pain up and down his back due to bulging discs. He suffered with that for many, many years, and he does not have that anymore. I had relief from menopause issues. I got my brain back in 2 weeks on the products. Woohoo! I was so excited because I was homeschooling 5 children at the time when we found these products, and I had lost my brain to menopause, and I could not focus. organize or concentrate, and I just was panicking about homeschooling. So I was very grateful to get my brain back, and all the other menopause symptoms went away after a few months, 2 to 3 months in the products. My husband was real happy about that. I also had a teenage daughter at the time who was 15, and she was struggling with anxiety, depression, and dyslexia, which affected her schoolwork. And after 2 or 3 months in the products, the anxiety and depression began to lift, and she became a lot more cheerful and happy, and she wasn't isolating herself in the room anymore, her bedroom like she had before. And after about a year on the products, the dyslexia did a total about-face, and she started to just read voraciously, attend classes at the junior college, and she's 23 years old today. She's a blossoming young woman. She takes her products every day faithfully. And our best story in our household is our special needs son, who is now almost 14. He was, there's a lot of background noise because somebody pressed *6. There's somebody that didn't press *6, and they're to mute their line. Thank you. Anyway, our special needs son will be 14 in April. He was almost 6 years old when we found these products, and he could only say 3 words. So he had severe speech delays. He also had cognitive delays, and he has a seizure disorder. Well, 8 to 10 months being consistent with the product, he went from the 3 words to full sentences. And that was just a blessing in itself. That brought a lot of joy to my heart. But then he went on and had a huge cognitive explosion in 2 years after we found the products, when I added one of their adult products to his shakes. He started to sing songs, make up stories, tell jokes. And then I was helping another friend of mine with a seizure disorder in the late 2009, and I kept hearing stories of other people using the products who were able to control their seizures with the product. And I started to use the product they recommended with my son, and he's been seizure-free since January of 2010. That's when I started using this adult product for him. And so this has just been a really amazing journey. He's being weaned off his medication. Right now, his neurologist takes copious notes about how he's doing every 6 months when we see him. The neurologist is quite surprised and very pleased with his progress. And we're looking forward to a bright future for him. The result of all of this was I did not want a business when I found it because I was homeschooling 5 children. However, people saw what was happening to us, and I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I was so excited about the results. And so I started sharing with people. People wanted to buy products from me. I never, ever felt like I was selling anything to anyone because people wanted the products, and I felt like I was bringing a blessing to them. And a business was born after a couple years on the products, and my checks average between $1,800 and $2,000 a month, and I am like Kathy Fairbairn. I only work maybe 8 to 10 hours a week. I can't do much more than that at this point. I'm still homeschooling my youngest 2, and I now have 6 married children and 13 grandchildren, and so I'm a very busy mom and grandma. My highest month has been $3,200, and I am excited because I can will this to my special needs son someday. And so with that, I wanted to ask one more time if somebody could make sure to mute your line. There's still a little bit of background noise, so there's somebody that doesn't have their line muted. And all you have to do to mute your line is press *6. So, okay, to continue on, we're going to talk about this wonderful company and the products and the mission and the opportunity. And it's an opportunity not only for better finances, but it's also an opportunity for better health. Okay, you're going to learn about new nutritional breakthrough. You're going to hear, you've already heard the real health results, and you're going to also learn about an exciting business opportunity and a way to save money on the products. The problem is that we do not get the nutrients we need. Our food supply has been so depleted. I mean, you can't imagine how bad it's really gotten. My husband's a farmer. He's been a farmer for over 40 years, and we have witnessed the decline of the quality of the food that we get. And we're kind of at the mercy of those who raise the food and those who sell it in the stores. The result of this is we all, a lot of us are experiencing a very poor quality of life, and the solution is superior nutrition. And this is what I was literally praying for when we were introduced to these products. I was praying for liquid supplementation of superior quality, and that's precisely what Reliv Nutrition is. Statistics show that just 14% of adults meet the recommended daily intake of fruits and vegetables. And studies have shown that you'd have to eat many more times the amount of food to get the same nutrients that you would have gotten even like 50 to 60 years ago. So that's how depleted our foods are. And the result of it is that our bodies are nutrient deprived. And so we're always eating more food to try and get those nutrients. And the result of that is people become overweight. I'm going to talk for a moment about Reliv science, about the science behind our products. We have 9 product patents issued, and that is just unheard of in the nutritional supplementation industry. We have clinically proven formulas. We have clinical studies posted on our website for our different products. And we're pioneers in nutritional epigenetics. And we're going to talk about epigenetics and what that means in a few moments here. And this is Dr. Carl Hastings. He is our Chief Scientific Officer, and he was ranked 9 out of the top 10, number 9 out of the top 10, as Chief Scientific Officer out of 5,000 CSOs in the United States. And we are very proud of that, and we're very grateful for Dr. Carl and all that he has done to develop these products. Now we're going to talk a little bit about epigenetics and what that means. Your health equals genetics plus your lifestyle. It's not just your genes, it's not just your lifestyle, but it's a combination of both. And ask yourself, what if you could influence both your genetics and your lifestyle? Well, epigenetics and Lunacin work hand in hand together. Your epigenome acts like a dimmer for lights. The epigenome, epi means above, and the epigenome is about 98% of your DNA, and the genome is about 2% of your DNA. So your epigenome acts like a dimmer for light. It controls which genes are used, when they're used, and how much they're used. And Lunacin is the first ingredient, the first nutrient identified to work at the epigenetic level to promote optimal health. And we're going to talk about Lunacin in a few minutes here. But scientists discovered that, what they used to think was junk DNA turns out to be the epigenome. It's the it's the part of the DNA that turns on and off the genes. So let's say you have diabetes in your family. Let's say you have maybe arthritis or some other autoimmune disease in your family. You have the power to turn off those genes so they are not expressed, so that those diseases are not expressed within your body. And you have the power to do that just by changing your lifestyle. And it's not just nutritional products, it's also a combination of better sleep, a little more exercise, and really superior nutrition, and trying to change your dietary habits a little bit. And our team works with people on accomplishing these goals. Now we're going to talk about Lunacin. Lunacin is a soy peptide that was discovered in 1996 by Dr. Alfredo Galvez. And he has partnered with our company, and he now works directly with Dr. Carl, who you just saw the picture of a few slides ago. The benefits of Lunacin are cholesterol management, inflammation reduction. It has antioxidant benefits, improved immunity, overall cellular health, and there are 50 plus published studies, and that number is growing. And I'm going to give you a website you can go to if you have a pen and a piece of paper to write this down. I have a website you can go to that you can look at it, and it will give you more information about this Lunacin. It's www.lunacin, and you can see on the screen how it's spelled, LUNASIN.com. So it's lunacin.com. That's the name of the website. And you'll find all kinds of information about this Lunacin at that website. And we have some capsules called LunaRich X capsules. And what is in the LunaRich X capsules is a highly concentrated form of this lunasin, this protein isolate. LunaRich is what we call the lunasin. That's our trade name. It optimizes lunasin levels. And LunaRich X, which is the capsules, is the most concentrated lunasin available. And the lunasin boosts the benefits of all of our other Reliv products. Reliv is nutrition made simple. You know, our family used to take all kinds of vitamins. I mean, one whole shelf in my hall closet, medicine cabinet, I called it medicine shelf. We didn't have a lot of medications. We were basically pretty healthy until we hit that crisis 8 years ago. But we had a ton of vitamins, and I played pharmacist. I played nutritionist. I played food scientist. I tried to mix and match all.
Good night, you guys.
Oh, excuse me. Somebody's talking in the background, and they don't have their phone muted. Could you press *6, please? I played, nutritionist, and I played food scientist, and I tried to mix and match vitamins, maybe a little vitamin B12, a little calcium, a little iron, and all this, and I had all these bottles of vitamins on the shelf in my closet, and we took them faithfully every day, and it didn't seem to make a whole lot of difference. But when we found this, I didn't have to use that stuff anymore. It was wonderful to have this nutrition, because this is nutrition made simple. You have complete balanced nutrition in these cans of product. It's the best possible nutrient delivery method, which is liquid. You put the powder that's in the can in your favorite liquid, and you drink it down. It's up to 98% of the nutrients in this are absorbed by your body, because your body recognizes it as food instead of the pills, which only absorb about 20 to 30%. And there's a money-back guarantee on both the products and our business. And this is just a picture of our products. We have 16 products. I'm going to go really quickly from left to right and explain what they're for. The one on the left here, 24K, is our Energy and Focus drink. It's caffeine-free and sugar-free. There's only 5 calories per capsule. And I call it pure brain food. It's got 24 brain-nourishing ingredients. We actually have stories of people who use this 24K for such things as depression and anxiety. There's ingredients in here that help the brain to just focus and relax, and it relieves stress. It's an amazing product. Also, our Celebrate in Simplicity, right next to that, is our weight loss program. Our Glucofect to the right of that in the gold can is for diabetics and people who have metabolic syndrome, which is like the precursor to diabetes. That is big waist, high blood pressure, high blood fat, and high blood sugars. And then to the right of that, we have the kids product, which is called Kids Now. It comes in chocolate and vanilla. In the center there, we have the LunaRich X capsules, and to the right of that is our Now and Classic. Those are our adult nutrition, our basic nutrition for adults. Both of these have 72 vitamins, minerals, and amino acids, our complete balanced nutrition. And then we have our Fiber Store to the right of that, which is our product for digestion, digestive issues. It has 21 enzymes. And then we have Reverse Age, which is obviously for people for over 40 usually, to help reverse the aging process. We have Cardio Essentials for heart health and for people who have cardiac issues. Orthofect for arthritis and joint issues. Soy Essentials for women to help balance the hormones. And then our 3 products to the far right, our ProVantage on the top is for muscle recovery for people who work out. It also helps with muscle repair when people have had some kind of muscle damage due to accidents or surgeries. And then our Energize, which is our hydration drink, and it comes in lemon and orange. So there's our 16 products, and we call these targeted solutions, except for the ones in the middle, the basic nutrition. The rest of these are called targeted solutions. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the Reliv opportunity and how you get paid to share a great story. And for those of you who are not interested in a business, this is also a way for you to learn how to get discounts on our products. Some of the things I like to share with people are, number one, you do not have to order every month once you sign up and register with the company. It does not require you to order every month. It does not require you to go on auto ship. Some companies require you to go on auto ship. That is not the case with our company. You can purchase product whenever you need it, whenever you feel like it, in any amount you wish. Another point is that we do have a 100% money-back guarantee when the product is purchased at retail for the first time for 1 full month, and you can return the product, any unused portion, to the company, and they will refund 100% of your money minus your shipping and handling. If you're not happy with the product for any reason during the first 30 days, that is their 100% money-back guarantee for the first 30 days. If you register with the company, you receive an automatic discount on the products of 20%. And depending on the amount of product you purchase at that time, that will determine how large your discount will be. And the product you purchased at the beginning, when you sign up or register with the company, that product is guaranteed for 1 full year, and you have 90% money-back guarantee. So you would receive 90% of your money back on any unopened product that you would choose to return to the company during that first year. So I wanted to make sure and mention those things. This is a little history of Reliv International. It was founded in 1988 by Bob and Sandy Montgomery. You can see their picture on the top left of the screen. In 1991, Reliv Australia opened. It was the first of our now 16 international markets. We have 16 international markets. It says 15 on the screen. In 1998, Reliv was honored in Rome by Pope John Paul II for philanthropy, because we do have an organization that, as I said, feeds 42,000 children a day with our products in other countries. And there is a call that some of you may not have heard referenced at the beginning of our webinar, and I can give you a phone number. You can listen to this wonderful recorded call. It's a story that was shared by a gentleman who actually was present, I think, during this time when Reliv was honored in Rome by Pope John Paul. This was back in the 1990s. And the story that is shared is about how Pope John Paul himself actually took these products, and he gave a blessing to our company. He invited us there twice, and he presented a humanitarian award. You can see this gentleman who's handing him a can of the Classic. That's Dr. Calagris, who was the scientist who developed our first nutritional product called Classic. And Pope John Paul actually, there is a huge plaque the size of a door that is in the Vatican dedicated to our company and our philanthropic efforts in our company. So that phone number is 712, that recorded number to hear about the story about Pope John Paul, 712-432-1219. That's 712-432-1219. And the reference number will be number 133. Number 133. So you can access that and listen to that. Okay. In 2004, Reliv was on Businessweek's top 100 small growth companies list, and since then it has been listed 3 more times. And in 2013, Reliv acquired exclusive rights to the Lunison technology, and today you've discovered Reliv. And this is just some pictures of the children that our company has nourished over the years. We nourish, as I said, over 40,000 people. It's actually over 42,000 people every day in 9 different countries, including Myanmar, Haiti, the Philippines, and several other countries. And you can see some of the children in these pictures. So far, we've distributed over $35 million in products over the years, and 97% of donations go to our feeding programs. We're a solid business. We're members of the DSA, which is the Direct Selling Association. We're traded on the NASDAQ, members of the Better Business Bureau, and also members of the Council for Responsible Nutrition. And our Dr. Carl Hastings, who develops the products, actually sits on the board of directors on the Council for Responsible Nutrition. And they oversee the supplemental industry in the United States. Now we're going to talk about ways to make money and ways to save money on the products. There are 5 different ways to make money with Reliv. There's retail profits, wholesale profits, overrides, cash bonuses and trips, and an ambassador program. We're going to talk about retail profit first. You can make anywhere from 20 to 40%, and if you put yourself in that green box, you can share with a friend, a neighbor, and a relative. Everyone's a potential customer. Anyone, we say, from womb to tomb can take these products. And you retail anywhere from $20 to $40 for every $100 that you, any $100 that you retail, you will make between $20 and $40, depending on where you are in the discount levels or the profit levels that I'm going to be talking about. Okay, let's talk about wholesale profit. Put yourself in that box at 40%. Now that's where a serious business builder wants to be, 40%. When I began using these products, I started out at retail. We started getting amazing results within 2 weeks, and I was like, well, I can't afford to do retail, so we're going to go up to that 20%. And we just gradually climbed up this stair step, as you can see on the screen here, over a period of about 5 or 6 months, and I got up to that 40% master affiliate level because I wanted the best savings on these products. This was even before I wanted a business or dreamed of having a business. That was the farthest thing from my mind, but I did want that 40% discount. If you're at 40% in that blue box and you share with a friend, a neighbor, and a relative, let's say you share with a friend who wants to register with the company. It's $25 to register with the company, and some people on this call will be getting a free registration if they decide to register, because we have a special deal going right now. Your registration would be covered by your sponsor. But let's say you register somebody at 20%, this bottom tier right here on the stair step. If you register for $25, you get the 20% discount. And the person at 40% would, if that's you in that box there at 40%, you would make a 20% commission on that. Every time that person would purchase product, you make 20% profit. Let's say you share this with a neighbor, and the neighbor decides that they want to purchase product and get this 25% discount. They would register with the company, and they would purchase 350 points in volume of product. And we call that a super pack. It contains enough product for one person, anywhere between 3 to 4 months, depending on how often they take the product, if they take it 2 to 3 times a day. And when that person becomes, we call that a quick start order, when that person registers and does that 25% quick start order, you, if you're in this 40% box up here at the master affiliate level, you would make 15% on everything this person purchases. Your commission would be 15%. Let's say you shared with a relative and they want this 35% discount here. So they would purchase 1,500 points of volume of product, and they would get a 35% discount off of that, and then you would make a 5% profit when they made that purchase. And every purchase they make from that point on, they would have a 35% discount, and you would make 5% profit every time they made a purchase. And as I said, up here is where you want to be if you're a serious business builder or if you want us to have the biggest savings, and that requires a 3,000-point investment. And the person who put you on this webinar can explain that a little bit more thoroughly to you. These are overrides. It's calculated on business volume. I tell people this is kind of like a this is our residual income, and we're going to talk even more about that in the next slide. But it's kind of like when you write a book or a song. You lay a foundation, you work hard at writing your book or your song, and you put it out there and publish it. Well, every time it gets sold, you get a commission on it. And so that's the same kind of a concept that we have. So let's say you're at the top of this row here, this vertical row, and you are a master affiliate, and you're at that 40% discount. And let's say you go out and you tell Susan, someone named Susan, about what you found. And Susan's really excited, and she gets really great results with her family, and she decides that she wants to be a master affiliate. She's considered your first level master affiliate, and she makes that investment to get up to the 40%. Well, you're going to get paid 8% of everything she does. The company's going to pay you 8% of everything Susan does once she becomes that master affiliate, because now you're both at the same level. You're both at that 40% discount or 40% profit level. Let's say Susan goes out and shares what's happened to her family with these products, and she tells Jim about it, and Jim gets really excited, and Jim decides that he wants to become a master affiliate. Well, Jim's considered your second level master affiliate, and everything that Jim does, you'll get paid 6% of that. Let's say Jim goes out and shares with Wendy, and she's considered your third level master affiliate. She becomes a master affiliate, 40% discount, 40% profit. Everything she does in her group, you get paid 4% on that. And then the last two levels down under her, Wendy shares with Maria. Maria shares with Bill. Same thing. They both want to be at 40%, either for the savings or for the business, and you get paid 3% on everything Maria does. She's considered your fourth level, and you get paid 2% on everything Bill does. And this is called residual income. Okay, this is where it gets exciting. Override, the power of multiplication. So you're at the top there, 40% discount or profit, however you want to look at it. You share with 3 people. Let's just say you share with 3 people who want to do the same thing you did. They each want to be at 40% discount, or they each want to be at 40% profit. They do the master affiliate order. Let's say these 3 people decide they're going to do this business. Well, they have a volume of $2,000 in a month. And $2,000 sounds like a lot, but it's pretty easy to accomplish that, and your sponsor will help you work towards that volume by sharing with other people. But if those 3 people that you sponsor are serious, and they're each purchased $2,000, that's $6,000 total on that first level, and you're going to get paid 8% of that, which is $480. Let's say those 3 go out and they do the exact same thing you did. They each share with 3 people. Well, that's 9 people on your second level, and you're going to work with them and teach and train them how to do the same thing that you did, and work with those 3 people on your first level to teach and train the second level. And they each do $2,000 in a volume in a month. That's called their monthly business volume. That's $18,000 on that second level in volume, times 6% equals $1,080. And you can see how this builds all the way down. The third level, if each of those 9 sponsor 3, that's 27 people on the third level. And the potential here, as you can see, it increases and increases the deeper you go with building your organization. We call it building your organization. And you have the potential of making $18,000 and more per month. And as I said, this is kind of an ideal scenario, and it can be anywhere, between, like what we were sharing, $1,000 a month, all the way up to, we know of people in this company who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. So it depends on how many people you share with, and how many people are interested in the business, and how many people, are doing the business. So all those are factors that play into this. We also offer cash bonuses and trips. We have a Star Director bonus, which can literally double your income. We have 3, 6, and 10 Star Director bonus. I get a bonus every month. I earn a bonus every month, and so this is another way that you can really increase your income, and your sponsor can explain this more to you. And then we also have an ambassador program. And with the ambassador program, you travel, you get special recognition, cash bonuses, you're paid to help others. The company actually covers all your expenses as you're traveling, and it's a wonderful way to teach and train people in large groups. We have an unlimited market. We have what people need most: good health, financial security, personal freedom. And I'm going to talk for a moment about these super PACs that I mentioned. This is a great place to start. The retail super PAC, if purchased at retail, is $380, and it is that would come out to about $3.17 a day. And I see that my internet is down connecting, so hopefully I'll be right back with you to show you this slide. We also have what's called a distributor super PAC, and that drops down your cost per day to being $2.38 per day. So you're saving about 25% now with your distributor super PAC, and it ends up costing about $285 for that distributor super PAC, and that's enough product to last about 4 months, one person for 4 months. And then we have a distributor double PAC that is an even better savings. You buy 2 distributor double packs, and it ends up costing about $2.22 a day. You're saving 30% on the products, and your investment is $532. And that double distributor pack can last you, depending on whether you're taking 2 shakes a day or 3 shakes a day, it can last you anywhere between like 6 to 8 months. And this is the best offer. The LunaRich Super PAC is a great place to start, and we have what's called the Master Affiliate Super Bundle. In the Super Bundle, this is what boosts you up to that highest profit level or highest savings level, which is 40%. And in this bundle, you get 9 Super PACs at 35% discount. That's what your initial purchase is. And then 40% savings on every order after that. And that places you at that highest profit level, the Master Affiliate level. And so you keep one of them for yourself, and then you help 8 other people get started, and you can earn anywhere from $300 to $900 or more, depending on how much of a discount you're giving your, if you're selling them at retail to other people or if you're giving them a discount. So this is the best place to start if you're really serious about building a business. And what's really neat is that if you know other people who would like to build a business with you, you can actually make an investment with other people, and it would cost less because you split up the cost of the, we call it a boost. It's kind of splits up the cost of that investment between 3 people. And so you can keep that in mind, too. It would cost you even less if you did it that way. So ask yourself, are you ready to get started? And where are you ready to get started? Master affiliate, distributor, or customer? Just think about what you learned. Talk to the person who put you on this webinar, and welcome to Reliv. God bless you all.